This is ASBR Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Niall as we have just watched the weigh-ins for Knockout Chaos. This video is all around the co-main event, the big heavyweight clash between Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker. Just seen them step on the scales there, Niall. Just we're doing an instant reaction to what we just witnessed there. Joseph Parker weighing in first at a ready 247.6 pounds. Zhilei Zhang weighing in at an incredible 291 pounds. So what? He's 45 pounds roughly, heavier than
Yeah.
Joseph Parker. Yeah, just kind of what we're at.
Yeah, first of all, I thought Parker, I don't know about you, thought Parker looked incredible, to be honest with you. I thought he looked in great shape. But yeah, Zhang, 291, he's an absolute specimen of a man. He really is. He's such a unique fighter between his boxing ability, and his size and now his weight, and he'll have a significant advantage tomorrow night. So yeah, he's an absolute I don't like saying lump of a man, but he is a specimen. He really is. That took me back. But yeah, I thought Parker looked good there as well. I thought Parker looked the best I've seen him in a long time now, I have to say.
Yeah, mate, I think it's interesting just picking up on a few things you've said there. I think he is a specimen, as you said, Zhang. Like, funny because we've seen him at weigh-ins in the past, even the first Joyce weigh-in. I feel like he was more fleshy then, even though he was a wee bit lighter, I believe.
Yeah.
Whereas now, he looks he's not obviously as chiseled as Parker, but as expected when you're nearly 21 stone. But yeah, I think he looked great. Considering he's a 40-year-old man, and he's a big heavy set dude. Like I feel like he's probably one of the best I've seen him look, aesthetically on the scales in a long time. And I completely echo everything you've said there about Big Joe Parker. I think yeah, he looked arguably the best he's ever looked. Not even just in terms of his physique, but just his demeanor and everything. I think going into that Wilder fight last time out, a few people him and Andy Lee and the rest of the team will have been confident of doing the job. But apart from that, there weren't really many people at all that gave him a shot. So even though he would have been confident of beating Wilder, you can tell now that he has beaten Wilder. He's just
Mm.
kind of grown that extra inch. He's got the shoulders back even more, the chest sticking out. He is definitely he's definitely kind of oozing more confidence. I would say Joseph Parker. So yeah, I definitely agree with you. Agree with you there, mate. Do you think that well, normally suppose it's different when you're, doing heavyweight weigh-ins. Obviously, there's no weight limit as such. But do you think what we saw there of the two weights of both Parker and Zhang, do you think that, would said they both look good? Do you think that's ideal weights for them going into a contest of tomorrow night? And if so, can you read into anything of what their picks are going to be based on what they've just weighed in at?
Parker, I think it's around as good weight it seems to be from what he's weighed in at before. I can't see it diminishing him too much. The question is now, Zhang, will that slow Zhang down in terms of both speed? I know he's not the fastest of foot, but hand speed and of course the gas tank that's been questionable before. Will that have even more of an effect now carrying that extra weight? So Zhang, I'd say. Not particularly his natural weight, and I will be curious to see if that has an effect. But in terms of game plan, I can't see it kind of affecting game plan too much. I think Parker needs to kind of look to get this late to have his most success, get in and out of range. As I mentioned, be quicker of foot, utilize the foot speed of Zhang and maybe has the edge in hand speed. Who knows? I might kind of edge at the Zhang as well though. But yeah, get in and out of range. Don't get greedy. Work the body and take it late and see does that engine, that big 291 pound engine hold up down the stretch. So yeah, Parker, as I say again, look good and I'd be happy with his weight. Zhang, I'm not sure, but if anybody can pull it off, Zhang can. He's a unique fighter.
Yeah, I mean, it is really fascinating. Yeah, I think can't really, Parker, you can't really read much else into. It's a familiar enough weight, for him. Zhang obviously is more where the questions lie. I think obviously I haven't seen him since that Joyce rematch, albeit it was a career best performance in the rematch against Joe Joyce. He obliterated him in what, 3 rounds, ice cold KO as well. But yeah, it's interesting. I think it's just for me the question here is How does he hold that extra weight? As you mentioned, and I'm just kind of going what you've said, really, mate. He's never been this fast heavyweight. He's never been this heavyweight with incredible stamina. He's never had the quickest hand speed. He's never had the quickest feet. But he's just a unique. He is a unique heavyweight, and it works for him. The one defeat on the record was arguably a win in most people's eyes. So, you're talking about a fighter who, in many people's eyes, is undefeated. So, well, don't change what isn't broken. Just finally, mate. As we kind of always like to do, before we get on the actual predictions, one question I would like to ask you before that is, without giving away who you're backing, has watching that weigh-in changed your mind at all? Whether that be switched who you think's going to win, or make you more confident about who you originally thought was going to win, or a little bit more, made a little bit uneasier at your prediction. How has the weigh-in changed your mind at all?
To keep it short and sweet, I'd say not entirely. Maybe the whole thing of Zhang coming in that heavy has slightly tipped the scales in favor of Parker, but without giving a prediction away until the end, I'm going to say slightly. But I'll stick with my original prediction because I made a prediction in a previous breakdown video and I'll stick with that. So I think slightly. How about you?
Yeah, believe it or not, as I said, again, we'll come on to our predictions next. I am more confident now in my original prediction. Again, I did the betting show for this fight, along with the previous breakdowns and previews as well. Um, so if you've tuned into that, you probably know what I'm going to say. But yeah, I am more confident in my prediction now, based off what I've just watched there, on the scales. So without further ado, now we may as well get right into it. Prediction time. I'll ask you first. I'm not going to give you the courtesy of me going first. I'm going to put you right on the spot and tell us, what is your final prediction for Joseph Parker against Zhang, and the co-main event of Knockout Chaos on the Anthony Joshua Francis Ngannou undercard?
As I mentioned there, I might slightly contradict myself. It slightly tipped the scales in favor of Parker with the weigh in, but I made a prediction in the breakdown video and I'm going to stick with it. I'm calling the draw. I'm calling the draw here. I just can't separate them. And I'm not going to put myself out and give a prediction for the sake of one side or the other. If I can't. I'm struggling to split them. And I'm not saying that to be controversial or out there, but yeah, I'm calling the draw on this one. I can't call it one way or the other.
Very, very interesting indeed. Now, very, very interesting. Fair play to you. If that comes in, you maybe be worth yourself putting a wee fiver or a tenner on it.
Yeah, well, it might
I'd
do
probably
actually,
probably
yeah.
be probably about 16, 20 to 1 or whatever it is. But anyway, this isn't the betting show. This is the weigh-in reaction. And after watching that weigh-in, my final prediction, I'm more confident in. Do you know what? I could look like an idiot if someone flips this video up and I've got it completely wrong. But I genuinely can't see anything other than a Joseph Parker win here. I genuinely can't. And in saying that, I said at start as well in the the betting video. I think it'll be a stoppage. I think it'll be a late stoppage. Second half of the fight, Zhang will tire. Joseph Parker nearly got Wilder out of there at the end of their fight. I think as long as he can evade Zhang's punches for 4, 5, 6 rounds, I think he'll be able to take Zhang out late, which was 9 to 1 by the way. So yeah, I might even have a wee cheeky flutter on that. But yeah, I'm sticking to my guns, mate. Joseph Parker, second half of the fight, knockout over Zhilei Zhang, and yeah, just what a fight, mate. Cannot wait for it. That's all we've got time for, unfortunately, Niall. Really enjoyed that weigh-in reaction and breakdown video with you there. As I'm sure I'm speaking on your behalf as well. Cannot wait for Friday night now. I
I
cannot wait for
can't
these
wait for
fights
it.
from
Yeah.
top to bottom. And yeah, especially this one as well. This is a 50-50 fight in a lot of people's eyes in the heavyweight division. And yeah, I'm really excited for it. All that's left for me now to say is, guys, thanks very much for watching. Make sure you check out the rest of the content on the channel surrounding this Knockout Chaos card. And Niall, thanks very much for joining me, mate. All the best.
Cheers. Take care.